So the first report, the first complaint on the agenda, which is the complaint against Councillor Rowley from Dartmouth Town Council. The investigating officer's investigation report concludes that there has been no breach of the code by Councillor Rowley. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. So the subcommittee must consider the investigating officer's report and decide whether or not to accept the investigating officer's conclusions, and then whether to dismiss the complaint or hold a hearing to make a final decision on whether the councillor has broken the code of conduct. So we have had sight of the investigating officer's report that we've all read and understood. The view of the independent person, the hearing procedure, briefing notes, and I'm just going to summarise the complaint. So the complainant alleged that Councillor Rowley insulted and disrespected him on public Facebook page, and followed this by disrespecting him in an email to council officers and the mayor. The investigating officer has found there has been no breach of the code and that no further action needs to be taken. He found that the councillor did post on Facebook in his official capacity as a councillor, but that Councillor Rowley did not breach the code because the posts were not disrespectful or abusive. The fact that the councillor's views are forthright or that he expressed different views to the complainant are not breaches of the code. So the independent person for this matter is Mr. George Barnicott, and he has been consulted about the investigating officer's report. Mr. Barnicott has confirmed that he agrees with the investigating officer's findings of no breach, and he is not present. I was going to say, not present this afternoon. So Councillor Rowley has confirmed that he accepts the investigating officer's findings of no breach and is present today. So the subcommittee now has to decide whether or not to accept the investigating officer's conclusions and whether to dismiss the complaint or hold a full hearing. So is there anything else that needs to be considered before we discuss the matter privately?
Are you offering me a chance to speak?
Yes.
Oh, I would thank you for that. I would thank you for this opportunity to be able to come and talk. I'm sad that this whole process, that officer time and councillor's time has been taken on this, because I think it emanates from a clash of personalities and possibly philosophical disagreements. The original arguments came out about a structural engineering issue. I'm a retired professional engineer. I spent my professional life as an engineer with British Coal. So I do have some understanding of structural engineering, and my comments to Councillor Sturgis were in that context. I was trying to explain some items of structural engineering. I won't bore you with the details. He disagreed, fair enough. In my professional life, my engineering meetings in British Coal would be quite robust, to say the least. So I as an engineer, I deal in facts. I do agree that I can be forthright. Hopefully I'm never discourteous or unpleasant to people. And that is the context. I would like to take this opportunity, if I may, of thanking Simon Mansell for a very balanced and reasonable report. And really, that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Rowley, and thank you to Mr. Mansell for his report on this. So the subcommittee will now retire for a few minutes to discuss the matter privately, and there will be one of two outcomes. The subcommittee will accept the report findings of no breach, or does not accept the investigating officer's finding of no breach. So can I stop the meeting at that point, please? Okay, thank you very much for doing that. I'm sorry to interrupt your tea pouring as well. So the committee has decided to accept the report findings of no breach for this. We accept the investigating officer's findings that the council has not broken the code of conduct. Oh, I didn't ask about dismissing the complaint.
No, that's fine. No, you do. That's fine. Sorry, that's
So-
fine. You've summarised everything and said, given your finding. So that would now just be the end of the matter from your perspective. Chairman, through you, if I just add that we will be, as the verbal decision is obviously given today, but I'll do a written summary of the whole thing, which the chairman will sign and send out within 14 days, and that will go to the complainant, the clerk, the independent person, and our investigating officer and yourself. So, but that is the end of the matter, even though there will be a summary coming next.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So thank you. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
You can go and have your cup of tea now.
Still have your tea and biscuits.
I'm gonna
Welcome back to today's Audit and Governance Hearing Subcommittee meeting. Sorry for the delay. We've now got Simon Mansell, the investigating officer, joined us on Teams. And we just have to say that the subject counsellor has been spoken to see whether we were going to go ahead with this hearing or defer to another date, but she's made it clear that she's happy for us to go ahead with the hearing today. So we're going to consider the second complaint on the agenda, which is complaint RP/483529 against Councillor D. Shepherd from Dartmouth Town Council. The investigating officer's report concludes that there has been a breach of the Dartmouth Code of Conduct by Councillor Shepherd, and the process will therefore take the form of a hearing. So we're going to consider the investigating officer's report on the complaint about Councillor Shepherd and consider any further representations from the councillor and investigating officer. Obviously, the councillor, as we've just explained, is not present today. Before the committee makes a decision on whether the councillor has broken the code, and if so, decide whether any sanctions should be applied. So everybody on the committee, on the subcommittee, has had the investigating officer report of the complaint. The investigating officer's report is taken as read by all parties. We've had the councillor response form from Councillor Shepherd, the Dartmouth Town Council Code of Conduct, and the hearing procedure. Simon, I just wondered, the subject has said to us that they were waiting on a deputy clerk's statement. Have you received that?
No, I haven't. No.
Or were you aware that that was requested?
No, I received a statement from the clerk during my investigation, but not the deputy clerk.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So the complainant has alleged that he experienced verbal abuse from Councillor Shepherd with regards to the Christmas market held in Dartmouth last December, which is December 2023. The investigating officer has found that the councillor has broken the code by her behaviour whilst acting as a town councillor, contravening the following provisions of the Dartmouth Code of Conduct. Paragraph 1.1, to treat other councillors and the public with respect. Paragraph 1.2, to treat council employees with respect. Paragraph 2.1, not to bully any person. Paragraph 3.1, compromising impartiality of council staff. Paragraph 5.1, bringing the role of councillor or council into disrepute for the reasons set out in the investigating officer's report. So, Mr. Mansell, would you like to explain the conclusions reached in your report, please?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chairman. With regards to the complaint, this primarily relates to the events of the morning of the 15th of December 2023, though at the very end of my report I do mention something about the 18th of December, and I'll come on to that in a moment. The complaint was, even though it's taken a long time to reach you, the complaint was made on the 21st of December 2023. So therefore, the events set out by the complainant were very fresh in the complainant's mind when he made it. He set out his concerns with regards to the conduct of the subject member. The two witnesses, which are named within the complaint, they also then subsequently sought to make separate complaints. But after speaking to the monitoring officer, it was decided that it would be better to join these to the complaint that was made in December 2023, because it actually went to support the complaint that was made. In fairness to Councillor Shepherd, when she was asked to do her response to the complaint, this was several months after the event, and it's fair to say that memories fade. And that's been my experience in doing investigations on a fairly regular basis. So therefore, I think there's some latitude with regards to her response and with regards to what she could actually remember from the events in December. However, taking into account the witnesses, the original complaint, I do believe that there was some sort of altercation between the complainant and the subject member on the 15th of December 2023. I think that's a proven fact on the balance of probabilities. I think there was some language which I would not repeat on a public streaming during the altercation. I am satisfied on the balance of probabilities that the complainant did call the council offices, and at the time Councillor Shepherd was having an exchange of views with the complainant. And I'm also satisfied that there was a later call into the council offices made by Councillor Shepherd, where there was a further robust exchange of views. On that as well, it's noted that I spoke to the clerk about the events, and she was able to tell me that on the morning of the 18th of December, which was the Monday following the events of the Friday the 15th, Councillor Shepherd came into the offices and challenged one of the witnesses with regards to the booking of the event on the car park. And this was done in quite a robust manner, and therefore we have the cross check again with another third party with regards to what was said by the subject member at the time. I think I have said in the report, I do believe this was something which caught Councillor Shepherd out. She didn't seem to be aware of what was happening, and that the car park was booked for an event. And then, because she wanted access, because she wanted to get there for her charity work, then clearly this became quite a matter. It was frustrating, and a lot of people were then having a go at her. But I do think from that, then events spiraled, which went beyond the control and resulted in a breach of the code. I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mansell. Have either of the subcommittee members got any questions? Councillor Carson.
The investigation provides quite an in-depth phone call on the 15th of December to a Miss Jude Min, and it's very detailed. Are the phone calls recorded?
No, they're not. I did ask the witness about that at the time that the complaint was made, because this came in as a separate complaint to the monitoring officer with this statement within it. When I questioned the witness, she said that she made contemporaneous notes at the time, then typed them up in the new year because it was heading towards Christmas. So she actually wrote up the comments of the call, given who it was from, and I think she felt considerably pressured by the subject member at the time. But they're not recorded, and Councillor Shepherd did ask me that, and I was obviously unable to provide a recording to her.
Thank you. So she was actually taking notes as she was on the phone.
She took some notes while she was on the phone, and then wrote it up immediately after the call.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Steele.
Thank you, Simon. It's a very detailed report. So just to clarify, so the witnesses, the council officers, they were planning to put in a complaint as well, but they were just persuaded to be witnesses for one complaint rather than two. Is that correct?
No, they actually had made complaints, and when they came forward for the normal processing, they were sent to me for processing and doing the initial assessment. I went back to the monitoring officer and said, look, these are so closely aligned with the complaint that was made on the 21st of December. In my mind, if the complainants are happy, it would be better that these act as a witness to the facts of the original complaint rather than two standalone complaints. And I contacted the witness separately, and they were both happy to be witnesses rather than for their complaints to be individually considered.
Thank you.
Just one factor just to clarify. So there were initially 3 complaints about this. However, as you explained, there is now just the one that we're hearing.
That's correct.
Thank you, Mr. Mansell. You're obviously not going to call any witnesses, and there are no witnesses here. The subject councillor is not here, and the complainant is not here either.
And also, Chairman, just to interject, the independent person is not here either, but he's George Barneycott, and he has confirmed that he supports Mr. Mansell's investigation report conclusions.
Thank you very much for that. Mr. Mansell, were you saying something?
No, my dog was barking in the background, I'm afraid.
I know that feeling. Thank you.
Oh,
Sorry.
yes.
The independent person's views. The committee will now retire to consider its decision. Thank you. Can we pause the live stream, please? welcome back and thank you for waiting, Mr. Mansell.
It's no problem.
The subcommittee has discussed the matter and we have decided that in this case there has been Councillor Shepherd has broken the code. We have discussed which sanctions we feel we should take forward, and the subcommittee has decided to apply the following sanctions in this case. We would like Councillor Shepherd to make an unequivocal apology to officers and the complainant. We would like some refresher training particularly on the code of conduct and good governance training. And in this particular case, we feel that the councillors should be censured as they have overstepped the mark, particularly in the language used, and they did not treat people with respect as per the code. So those are the findings of the committee on this occasion. A written decision will be issued by the monitoring officer within the next 14 days. And the summary of the decision will be reported to the next ordinary meeting of the Audit and Governance Committee and will be published on the council's website. Are you happy, not happy with those outcomes, but are you satisfied with those outcomes?
It's entirely at the gift of the committee, Madam Chairman. You know, I like I said, I believe there was a finding of fact, but in terms of the outcomes, that's within the committee's gift.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Mansell, for doing all the hard work. It was a really balanced report, and thank you for coming today. Really appreciate
No problem.
that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And that's the end of the hearing panel for today. The two cases have been heard. Thank you.